folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen, and this week we are showing off my Criterion collection on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, I don't have a whole hell of a lot, but I just mainly wanted to show off these releases because I think they're excellent and I highly recommend them. Now, they're not all horror, but there definitely is some horror in there. Starting with Night of the Living Dead. Yes. I remember I wanted this for so long, and it was so great to finally get it. I remember when I first saw that artwork on the cover, I was blown away. I was like, I have to have this. And then, not only that, but I mean, the film, the transfer looks fantastic. I mean, you're never gonna see this film look any better than it does on this release. I mean, this is the 4K restoration, with all kinds of special features on here. Now, there's also more awesome artwork on the inside that I'll show you guys that's just even more breathtaking. I mean, look at this. I mean, that belongs on a Cannibal Corpse album cover or something. That's just amazing. I love it. And there's the discs. There's also a really cool poster here on the inside of the zombie girl, the little girl that became a zombie in the film. Yeah, nice, right? Awesome film and an awesome release. You're never gonna get a better version of it, folks. Next up we have Dress to Kill from Brian De Palma, the Criterion release DVD. Excellent film. As close to an Italian giallo as you're gonna see that wasn't filmed in Italy. I mean, Brian De Palma definitely had a lot of influences from like Dario Argento and people like that, Mario Bava. And obviously Alfred Hitchcock, which, you know, all giallos are pretty much owe their debt to him for that. And yeah, this is a great release, all kinds of awesome special features. Once again, a 4K restoration. And yeah, the film looks fantastic, and it's such a great film, and highly recommend this release. It's just great. Next one isn't a horror, but it's an excellent release of one of my favorite movies of all time, period. And that is In the Heat of the Night. Such an incredible film that I think is just a master class in acting. I mean, I can't believe that Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger didn't both win Oscars for this film. I mean, this is two of the greatest performances in the history of cinema as far as I'm concerned, but yeah, awesome release. Again, 4K digital restoration. Absolutely loaded with special features. Yeah, amazing release. It's got a great booklet with the story behind the making of the film. Pretty cool backdrop there with the Gillespie, Chief Gillespie there. And Mr. Tibbs on the other side. They call me Mr. Tibbs. Oh man, I can't get enough of this movie. So if you've never seen In the Heat of the Night, run and buy this great Criterion Collection release. It's fantastic. Next we had The Blob. Yeah, the original Blob, starring Steve McQueen. Yeah, I just had to have this when I saw that. I was like, wow, The Blob on Criterion Collection? This old 1950s kind of monster movie. I just love it. It's so much fun, and believe it or not, I was surprised at how well the special effects hold up today. I was like, wow, this, that's actually pretty good. I mean, I wonder what they used to make that monster, Oh, man. I love this. Again, 4K digital restoration. 82 minutes of concentrated motion picture terror and blood-curdling color from 1958. An early color film. Next up, we had Godzilla. Yeah, the original classic. So it's got the original Japanese version called Gojira, as well as the kind of Americanized version starring Raymond Burr. And I love both versions of it. And this is so great to have this. And once again, it looks fantastic. I mean, all kinds of awesome special features. And this is so cool. Check out the inside, too. It's really cool. You guys ready for this? Oh, it's actually a pop-up. Look at that. That's badass. Amazing. In the back as well. It's Godzilla underwater. Drowning like he does at the end. Once again, this is probably the best version you're going to get of the original Godzilla film because it looks so great. And they took so much time and care into this wonderful film. You know, I mean, it all starts here with the king of the monsters, you know? Godzilla, the icon. The ultimate monster. And you guys ready for this? This is the Holy Grail. This is the main event. Bruce Lee. His greatest hits. Yes, all 4 classic Bruce Lee movies and Game of Death, because I don't know if I would consider that a classic, but yeah, absolutely love all his original 4 films. The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon. And of course, they never finished Game of Death. I mean, the stuff that Bruce Lee did shoot was awesome, but I mean, that's only about 15 minutes of the film. The rest is done with a very unconvincing stunt double, and, you know, it's just kind of a bad movie. You know, at one point, we see a cardboard cutout of Bruce Lee. It's, but anyway, it's fun to watch just for the nostalgia, you know. But this is an absolutely incredible release. That was always too expensive for me to buy. Even when they had a half-price sale, I was like, damn, it's still too much, you know? But my wife bought it for me, so I'll take it. I mean, Bruce Lee is one of my absolute idols when I was a kid, and, you know, he still is. I mean, I still love watching these movies. And I will say, the biggest thing about this collection is the Big Boss and Fist of Fury. Why? Because they finally have a great release of those 2 films. They look amazing. Because anytime I watched those 2 movies when I was a kid, I was always thinking, man, this looks so grainy. You know, you see the tracking lines, you see the fuzz all over the screen. It's faded, you know, it always looked terrible, no matter what release you get of it. You know, if you're seen on TV, I mean, it's just, but man, seeing these releases, the beautiful color, and they look crystal clear. I mean, they look as good as Enter the Dragon looks, you know, which was done on a Hollywood budget, you know, and the first 2 films that he did were definitely not a Hollywood budget. They're very low budget, but you would never know it because they look amazing. Awesome artwork on the inside. Do, 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 do. And man, each one of these discs is absolutely loaded with special features and making of documentaries and, you know, Bruce Lee documentaries, all kinds of amazing stuff. Look at this. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 discs of stuff, you know. Amazing. So yeah, the movies have never looked better. They look absolutely brilliant. And all these films are presented uncut, you know, with all scenes that were previously cut out of the films, like especially Way of the Dragon. If you had seen the Return of the Dragon version, which was how it was released in America, there's a lot of stuff missing. But when you watch the Way of the Dragon version, there's a lot more cool stuff in there. Especially some great character stuff with Bruce Lee's character, Tang Lung, you know. Get to know him a little bit more. Oh, there's a great book inside too, with the cool posters and descriptions of each film. Great stuff. The Way of the Dragon. Enter the Dragon. Which was, of course, his biggest film of all time, and one of the biggest kung fu movies of all time. Probably the biggest, you know. And there's the classic poster, Enter the Dragon, you know. Amazing stuff. Yeah, I mean, to me, there is no greater martial artist that ever lived. He's such an inspiration to me, and to so millions of other people are so inspired by him. Yeah, I don't think there was a tougher guy that ever lived. I don't think there was ever anybody that took martial arts to his level, to his dedicated training. I mean, every muscle in his body was worked to the utmost, and he could use every muscle in his body to the utmost. He could do anything. So yeah, absolutely love Bruce Lee, and if you're a Bruce Lee fan, you absolutely have to have this collection. I mean, this is as good as it gets, folks. You'll never get a better compilation of the Bruce Lee classics, his greatest hits. Alright guys, thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared. Folks, don't forget to grab your Sean Patrick Erschen gear and represent the Horror Corner. Also, check out these awesome mugs we have, perfect for your coffee. And definitely check out the Horror Hangout live stream t-shirt and represent the legacy of the Horror Hangout. Check out the link in the description below this video.